So I was just watching the Battlefield 6 sort of stuff, because I only had 3 hours sleep, and once I had my eyes from sleep, I don't go back to sleep. And then I was about to, do some Skyrim story editing sort of shit, right? And I saw this, dude, this is the last leg of development from Heavy Burns, who was actually a really big YouTuber on YouTube before he disappeared and went and joined the Skyblivion team, which is awesome. And I've been looking at that crown for a small bit, right? This obviously is Uriel and Martin on the screenshot, was awesome. They're showing off the new Emperor's armor, which is going to be sick, because if you've ever seen the ArtStation version of the Emperor's armor, it looks gorgeous. That crown is part of it. It's also a simple outfit, it's not a dress anymore like it was in Skyblivion, in Oblivion. So they also got a chest plate, so it looks like a very fine tunic for the Emperor. The chest plate, a sword, and a crown. So let's get into it. Alright, add a couple lads, so let's fucking... 11 minutes, nice, let's do this. I'll pause it here and there and talk about shit.
Over the past 5 years, I've been a developer on the Skyblivion project.
Hey, I just said that.
To remake the world of Oblivion in the Skyrim engine. In this new...
Oh, dude, look at that. That's Boethia's territory. So that they've still got lava in it, which is pretty cool. And if you don't know what this is a Daedric quest where you go and you earn... I think it's Gold Brand or it's Ebony Blade. I think it might be Ebony Blade. I don't know which one it is, but... you go and earn the sword through a Daedric realm. And as you can see, this is it. It's actually using, if you look in the distance, it looks like, those things look like, I don't know if they're brand new, but they look like Soul Can assets.
Series, I wanted to share a behind-the-scenes look at what my job as implementation lead entails as we work towards completing the project. Bringing you...
Oh, dude, is that an Anvil? Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't know what the fuck, because obviously I think they've changed Anvil quite a bit to more follow the concept art, but God, that looks beautiful, that pavilion. Is that, because the only pavilion that I know of is right beside the chapel, and I don't see the chapel. Well, yeah, I don't see the chapel in the shot.
Guys along as we make progress to push towards release.
Moleg Ball.
In this first episode, we'll be fixing up some issues around Anvil, making the final details to a new shop located inside the city, implementing some custom faces to some NPCs,
yeah, it looks like the actor. So, they said that in the Discord the other day, that they actually were making better NPC models for certain NPCs.
Including a few of which you may even recognise. And finally getting around to some changes and finalizations of some of the last major locations left in the game. Welcome to the first episode of Finishing Skyblivion.
They said the first episode? I thought they said that was going to be the last episode.
As implementation lead, my job for the project mainly consists of taking the finished assets...
Imagine going from a YouTuber who makes crispy, videos for YouTube, for Skyrim mods and all that sort of stuff, to then becoming the lead implementer for a remake of a game. That's fucking wild, dude.
Worked on by other artists and implementers and getting them game ready. And we're jumping right in today with the city of Anvil. A city that I level designed earlier last year. And as a great milestone, once I'm done with my changes here today, that marks every single city, apart from the Imperial City, complete. First up, we've got an issue with the street mesh that needs to be altered. So we're going to take this newly fixed up version of the mesh and replace it in game. All I've got to do is simply replace the original file that has the curve straightened out. And voila, just like that, that's one issue squashed. Next, we're heading over to the outside of a new alchemical shop named Tide and Tonic. And as this has a new interior...
See, I love that. I mean, this isn't just the only city they've done, which is going to be following the concept art and adding new material. But I'm pretty sure Leowind, I think it's the bottom city. It might be Cheydinhal. I don't remember completely. But it's going to be like a two-part city with bridges that extend over the water. Very much like Beyond Skyrim is doing with theirs. They're adding new towns, they're adding new people, new places. This shit's awesome.
Yeah, the front door was never linked up to the outside. And then I noticed the new store was still using the sign from Lil's Quality Goods. So off to Photoshop I head to make something to replace it. And really all I'm doing here is a quick and dirty snapping together of a new sign in a similar style. As I don't have the source files, I'm just doing my best to mimic the vibe of the original. With the help of some pre-made icons I bought, and some kind of shoddy drawing skills, I took the little design I did and threw in some other nicer looking potion icons behind. Did a bit of cleaning up and tweaking, And once I was done, I duplicated the mesh, making a new one from the original, replaced it with my textures, and overall I think it came along pretty okay. I'm happy with the outcome, so it's time to get it in game, which is as simple as making a new entry in the creation kit and pointing the file path to my newly made mesh. And overall, I'd say that it turned out pretty nice, and it's one less task to worry about. Next, I noticed our green-shirted friend here wandering around town and remembered that this clothing was quite broken, and we had a fixed version waiting around for me to set up. So I put the new fixed meshes in the correct file path, because organization is key. Then back to the CK to assign all of these fixed meshes to the entries of the clothing, which is only slightly more work than the sign was. But once I was done, I hopped back in game and checked to see our newly stitched green shirt, and I just checked the weights worked on the player character too. Now we're jumping back in to fix up a bunch of little details that I sloppily left in the build when I made Anvil originally, like putting the wrong doors on the Count's Arms Inn that I had to move over to the correct building in town. And finally, I realised I only partially cluttered this lower dock, and didn't actually add any fine detail to these stools. So, off I went to fill these various markets, tables, and stands with a variety of clutter that would just help the area feel more lived in and used by the population. Mostly, I stuck to a large fishing and trading theme, reflecting the harbourside trade capital that Anvil is supposed to be. And once I was done, you can see this really helped these little stands come to life. And with that final change to the last area in Anvil,
honestly, Anvil is my favourite place in all of Skyblivion. It really is. I mean, that is like, and I don't even recognise it. I don't. I really don't. And I love what they've done with it. Even though Anvil is my favourite place, the problem with a lot of Oblivion cities, especially with the remaster coming out, is that you find they're too big with nobody in them. And there's a part of me that really hopes to add some sort of like crowd system into this. You know, I'd love to see the cities come to life during the day and be quiet and lonely during the night.
Mesh department. And with that, Mark...
Look at that. Oh! Yeah, that definitely changed it, because the mermaid statue's out on the little pavilion. I mean, that's wild. Yeah, so the Fighters Guild's over there, and normally there's a Mages Guild across the road from it, and the pavilion is in the middle, and that is... Yeah, they've definitely changed it. Holy shit, look at the design of it. So, yeah, there's normally like a little pavilion in the middle here, and there's the Fighters Guild on the left and the Mages Guild on the right, and there's like a red guard that sits there who's like an undercover cop, and you kind of walk over to the, you know, where the player home normally is, which it would be in this direction, and there's this like little sort of pavilion against the wall, a little pond of water, and the mermaid statues inside of it. It's very different. Like, I don't know if I would have probably liked that, but again, you can actually come here and see the mermaid statue and probably sit around it, which is pretty cool. So these are actually benches. They turn the pavilion into the mermaid statue, which is pretty cool. That looks fucking sick, dude. That's really nice. They've completely and utterly, like, obviously they've gone to remake Oblivion in Skyrim's engine, but along the way they've gone, well, let's make shit better, and they've changed things. They haven't just improved them, but they've fucking full-on changed them, which is wild, and it looks beautiful.
Every single major city, excluding the Imperial City, done in Skyblivion. Elder Scrolls is a genre where the way your character looks can really change how you can roleplay.
Is it the Fourth Unknown armor? It does look like his armor, because I have... Yeah, it actually is. It's nice. The Fourth Unknown's actually lending assets to both Skyblivion and Beyond Skyrim, because I use that in one of my characters.
Scrolls is a genre where the way your character looks can really change how you can roleplay, experience, and connect with the game. Armor. So we've spent a lot of time ensuring the player has a host of new customization options for your champion of Cyrodiil.
They're still using the old Blades armor, so they haven't gone to remake that, which is, yeah, it's alright. I mean, I really like what Skyblivion did. The remaster did with the shield and the sword. So there was like a two-handed katana, a one-handed, and a shield, and they looked very beautiful. Apart from the armor, looked kind of raggedy-taggedy.
But now we're finally in a place that we can carry some of those changes onto our NPCs. My job here consists of taking the exported head model that the artist has created and reassigning all the various face, brow, and beard textures that were made for it to fit each particular character.
This is Martin.
Essentially preparing the actual face model of these characters to be used in game by the NPCs. Finally, I just re-UV the eyelashes, and in this instance I'm going to switch out the colour of the hair to better match the artist's original preset, as clearly the colour was intended to be a bit darker and redder than it ended up in the export.
All seen.
And here's the final result.
I like it. I kind of see. I don't know. I am a character modder after all, so I got to make him a little bit older because he looks late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, and I think he's meant to be like in his 40s because he's the youngest of all his brothers, and he's the bastard child. But I don't know. I'd probably make him a little bit older. A few more wrinkles here and there, but he looks like he's in his 30s instead of his 40s. But again, I don't know the exact age of Martin Septim.
Next, we have a few more characters to go through. This one being Uriel Septim, which, much as you could probably tell from Martin's model, designed to look like Sean Bean. This is designed after Patrick Stewart. We then have Lucien LeChance, the infamous speaker of the Dark Brotherhood, and another of the Brotherhood's members, the vampire, Vincente Valtieri. And I thought I would just give a moment to show all 4 of these final...
Dude, fucking look at that! Is that Skyruler Temple? That's a fortress within a fortress. That really is. Like, it's got like an outer wall. And it's got a couple entries too, which is sick. So, this right here is basically what you get in Oblivion, right? This is Skyhaven Temple. But this is Skyhaven Fortress.
In-game. All credit to the character artists here, who have done an incredible job bringing these characters to life.
Here we go, here's the outfit. Look at that crown, dude, that's beautiful, isn't it? Like, that's a really beautiful crown. He kind of looks a bit different, you know, the vampire dude. He does, because I've always imagined him being a bit more... Because he's meant to be an ancient vampire. But again, I would just do what I normally do, make him pale and make him look a bit more bat-like, because he's meant to be old, and he kind of expresses the reason he looks like he looks like a vampire because he's an old vampire.
I honestly count myself very lucky, as my position in the project allows me to see all the incredible talent of our artists. And these faces in particular have been made for a very long time, and waiting on some technical hurdles that I had to figure out in order to actually get them working in game. Nice. So really, I'm just super relieved that I could finally crack the code on these and do all the artists' hard work justice by actually getting these functioning. And as you can see from these before and afters, their work really does make all the difference, turning what was our previous Martin Septim into the hero you'll be following in game. And whatever bleak, blurry version of Uriel this is, into a true emperor.
That's nice. I really do like how they've turned the main characters, you know, the emperor and his son, to look like they're actual actors. Because that's the modern thing in modern day games. Actors get represented by their actual looks in video games, which is nice. The other ones, I like Lucien LeChance looking a bit freakish. You know, he's kind of described to the actor when he was playing the role to be like a mutated like freak. So that could definitely still be a thing. For the vampire, he doesn't look like a vampire to me, but that's just me personally. I would just change him to something like a pale-skinned, bat-eyed, vampire-looking guy. But again, still beautiful work.
The land of Cyrodiil is a varied region of lush trees, bright colours and green grasses. And included in that is our beautiful birch trees. That, a few months ago, we kinda broke, replacing almost every single use of those trees in the overworld with the same model that was made for the painted world. So I dug back a few 50 git pushes and retrieved the corrected files to re-implement. To make my life easier, I just re-implemented them all as new entries, the correct overworld trees in the front here, and all the painted world trees here at the back. And this allows me to just do some simple swaps using the creation kit's find and replace function in order to switch out every single use of a particular entry. In this instance, there's over 1,000 uses, so let's hope I don't mess this up. But through pure skill or sheer luck, the process went rather smoothly, and I replaced all the necessary trees in the entirety of Cyrodiil with the non-broken ones I just added. And the world is now at peace once again. Next on the topic of trees, we're delving into the Great Ironwood Forest in the Nibbon that Rebel's Eyes recently finished. And as part of finishing this area, my job was to switch out the bark on these trees to something more visually pleasing. So with the help of our talented artist, I went ahead and updated both of the tree meshes used in this region with the improved one that better reflects the climate. And it's just these final changes and additions that really make the game feel polished as we head towards our release goal. Next up is a little sneak peek at the...
Yeah, he said release goals. They're still looking for, 2025, and there's still quite a few months left to go. And like he said, he finished Anvil. So he's finished Anvil in this video, and the next hurdle they go through is the Imperial City, which is the final straw for all these big Cyrodiilic teams like Beyond Skyrim and Skyblivion.
Architecture for the Imperial City, as I need to replace some buildings down in the waterfront with shortened versions, as currently there is a little problem. These houses kind of stick right through the walls and cause all sorts of issues. And while this area is a massive work in progress, this will be one step closer. So I'm just making new entries and switching out the positions of all of these waterfront buildings just to tidy up the area a bit and make it more presentable and workable when it comes time to replacing the walls and docks. And this is a good moment to say, the Imperial City is now the final part of the overworld that is yet to be finished. Meaning if you're a 3D artist and want to help push us up to release, we would really love some extra help in getting this monumental task over the finish line. But with that being said, after adjusting the positions of the buildings and the surrounding clutter, the waterfront was starting to look a lot more tidy than it did before. And while this was a...
I really want to know what they do with the Imperial City, because if they've gone and changed Anvil and made it look way different, are they going to give that sort of treatment to make the Imperial City look bigger and better? Because the dock still feels very similar to what it does in Oblivion. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter.
Very slight tease.
It's going to be an amazing
I cannot wait to show all of you what we've been cooking up in the actual Imperial City in a future Dev Diary. Skyblivion is full of various fiery hells the player will get to explore. One of these is owned by Boethia, the Daedric god of murder, deceit, and conspiracy. And at the heart of their realm is a...
I don't know, they did talk about making all their Daedric realms look very vastly different. And I definitely see that with a lot of their stuff, but Boethia's realm does look suspiciously like Miriam's Dagon's. I mean, you can see the pillars right there, and the gates, and obviously doesn't mean that, Dagon's the only place of lava. Any Daedric realm could have lava. But the Daedric gates from the Deadlands and the pillars right here still kind of feel like we're in the Deadlands instead of Boethia's realm of Oblivion.
Ginormous shrine to their likeness. This currently is the final statue in Skyblivion left to replace. And through the grace of our incredible statue artist, I get to do the honour of putting it in game. So, as usual, I take the mesh and the textures and make sure all of it is in the right folders with some semblance of naming consistency. And in this instance, everything was ready for me. All I had to do was use a tool named Sniff to replace all the texture paths, and then we get to see Boethia's statue in all of its glory, which we can then go ahead and implement in game, taking the original entry and pointing it...
Because Boethia's either got the body of a man sometimes, the body of a woman, and when you meet him in Skyrim, it's got the female voice. So, Boethia's like an actual, tranny of the Elder Scrolls, because they can come out to as male or female, and mostly every other Daedric prince follows a certain sex.
To its new mesh, and updating its name in CK to match the naming convention we established for all of our finished objects. And overall, it's such a cool feeling to be able to wipe out some of the last remaining Oblivion meshes from our build. It really never gets old. And finally, we're going to be taking a closer look at the arena heavy armor for both blue and yellow team, as their mesh has some issues that need updating. So after getting the updated mesh, I just went ahead and duplicated it to make a yellow team version. Then went in game to ensure that the weight values were now working and that the armor didn't clip with the player's skin when worn. And thankfully all was well, and that was yet another bug wiped off the Skyblivion task list. And that's going to be all for this first episode. It's a short video, but making these episodes will be a great way of me keeping on top of my Skyblivion duties.
Yeah, wait, was that Bruma? Honestly, they showed... Yeah, no, it is. They showed the Bruma castle off on Facebook and Reddit, I'm pretty sure, and maybe a YouTube post. Mate, I don't know if you realise this, fella, but you've kind of just... You've got this issue right here with their feet. So that's another bug to conquer there. They've got no legs. But, yeah, it's... Honestly, I like what they're doing. They're changing things, because the Bruma Castle was, it's iconic. But having it look like a grand-ass Nordic hall,
but making these episodes will be a great way of me
this is it feels like a grand entrance. It really does. It looks beautiful. It feels like you're entering a Jarl's Longhouse, It feels somewhat Skyrim-like, and I really, really like that. And even like, look at the back up here. Like this shield, it's an ancient Akaviri shield, so it doesn't actually look like a blade shield. It has its own custom asset, which is actually pretty cool. But other than that, this is the first episode. They're going to obviously be doing more to kind of crush, you know, to do things. Who knows how long that's going to take or how long these are going to go for. But it's pretty cool that they kind of update these sort of things. I'd love them to go through and just show what they've done in certain cities. Just walking around and talking shit about the things they've done. Walking around the cities that are completed and showing them off. Especially like I want to see Shadenall. Because again, it's been more followed with the concept art than the actual game design. Even Such, if they've got like, even if Such is destroyed, I'd love to see what Such look like. It looks like in Skyblivion, it's this ancient destroyed fortress.
I'm on top of my Skyblivion
this looks beautiful.
Duties, well,
absolutely
also making content for you guys.
Fucking work
so let me know if you like this, and if you want.
That looks like the player's home, no doubt, in Anvil. But I love what they've done. The Anvil is beautiful. It all looks fucking extremely top quality. I mean, this is a passion project built from love, and this is why it's always going to overdo either the remaster, which is a beautiful game, and obviously Oblivion. And this is going to, really, honestly, man, this is going to keep people in the Elder Scrolls community for so much longer than I believe Elder Scrolls 6 will. Because you've got Skyrim, you've got Skyblivion, and down the line you're going to have Skywind. And Skywind is just literally announced, I think, like a day ago, that they've got all their voice actors covered. And they've got 3,000 NPCs. They've got 300 voice actors to voice act 3,000 NPCs, which is absolutely fucking bonkers. I think Skyrim's going to be the game that people are going to be playing well into their 40s, especially myself if I make it that far. But this looks absolutely awesome. I can't wait for more of these sort of things. Top-notch work from the Skyblivion team. Absolutely just mind-boggling what you guys have done. It's honestly, like, you try to think about it, you just can't understand unless you're actually there doing it. But what these guys doing is top tier. Like, yeah, this is what AAA quality was meant to be. But unfortunately, AAA quality has gone down the sink lately, and now it's indie teams or free modding teams doing the job that AAA are meant to be doing. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. And if you've got any skills, like if especially I'm looking at you, Skyfall, that likes to make fortified Whiterun, and all those sort of things.
And keep your eyes peeled on the Rebels Eyes channel, because soon we may be dropping our next developer diary for all of you to feast on. So
there you go. That's a little bit I wanted to add because I finished the video up. It's going to be another dev diary. Might be their last one, but it's normally they heavily go into what they've done, what they're doing, and they might even give a release date if it's their last one. I don't know if they'll give a release date. That's a bit, but they might give a release window to like what kind of month it's expecting to throw it into, which would be awesome. But honestly, this is a beautiful project, and what they've done here is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And man, this is going to change Skyrim forever. It's going to change Bethesda gaming forever. I mean, the ability to, play Skyrim and Oblivion, and a couple of years later, no doubt, Skywind is going to be absolutely crazy. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm going to get over here and try and get some sleep. And, let me know what you guys think. I think I might have said this beforehand, but let me know what you think, because Skyblivion is going to be a massive community project for the modding community. Other than that, I'm out of here. Look out yourselves, and have a good one.